start here with Michael.
Hey Jim, you said the other day that you thought that Mari was going to most likely miss the season with the Achilles. Is that the case? And who do you look at to step up with him obviously being out this week?
Yeah, that is the case. And we'll look within our roster, look within our defense. Say, exactly who yet, but I mean, you know the guys.
All right, if you have any questions, raise your hands. Get back here on the left, Lynn.
Jim, how well do you know Pat Fitzgerald, and could you talk a little bit about any background with him?
Great competitor. Background would be starting with, I was at Stanford, he was at Northwestern, first cross pass on the recruiting trail, and sized him up and said, this guy's a fine coach and great competitor. He's done a fabulous job. He's a great coach, and got to know him this summer. Came to our football camp. Did a tremendous job talking to the campers and sharing football lessons and life lessons with them. Thought it was fabulous. And football team is a tremendous football team. So everything you look at with Pat Fitzgerald is really good. Admire him.
To your right, Coach Chris.
If you're watching them on film, what impresses you most about their defense?
Athletic. Mike Hankovich does a great job. They react as athletic and fast as anybody we've seen. 18 is as good a player as we've faced. So all those things, really good scheme. They play great team defense, leading the country in points allowed. But I think that's the thing mainly is this team reacts and flows to the ball as good as you're going to see in college football.
Middle coach, Adam.
Jim, excuse me, going back to how the reference is sizing up Pat Fitzgerald, and then with the defense is Northwestern #1, you guys right behind them. Have you given a lot of thought as far as just kind of like a battle of the defenses? Is this a big game in your mind for both defenses, yours particularly?
That's part of it, yeah. The offenses, special teams, all equal parts of the game.
But given the ranking for both defenses, do you feel like it's kind of like a bout, or is
No,
it
the two defenses won't go against each other
Well, right,
in the
no.
game. They won't face each other. So it's look at it the way we always look at it. It's three phases, and yeah, we want to win each of those phases.
Up here on your left, Coach Wojo.
Jim, when your defense is performing like it is, does that affect how you run your offense? In other words, maybe not take as many chances playing to your good defense? Is that kind of a strategy?
What kind of strategy would that be?
Keep it a little bit tight to the vest, since you know your defense is good enough that you don't necessarily have to take a lot of risks on offense?
No, I wouldn't characterize it that way. But I mean,
It's
it
not a
seems really
strategy.
simplified.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So in other words, with someone like Jake Rudock,
We got to move the chains, score points, and ultimately got to put more points on the board than your opponent.
Move to your right.
Stribling and Smith, do you expect them to be back to play?
Yeah, I think they'll be back in some form or fashion today, and look to progress through the week. See how that goes.
John.
Speaking of Stribling, you made the trip without him, and yet there wasn't any big drop-off in terms of production defensively. Can you talk about some of the depth that secondary is developing?
Yeah, doing a really good job, individually, collectively, playing as a defensive unit. Can't say enough good things. I mean, it's been impressive. Congratulations, and now we got a tremendous opponent this week, who very good at running the football. It's a team that probably runs it 70% of the time, throws it 30% of the time, averaging somewhere around 12, 13, 14 passes a game. Quarterback that's very good runner, extremely good running back, that knows how to run the football and throw it and keep you off balance, both the passing game and the running game. So it's a tremendous challenge for us again this week. But yeah, Jordan Lewis was ascending player. Jabril Peppers, just his versatility and goodness, the way he can line up at corner, at safety, at nickel. I haven't seen too many things like that. And then also the punt return game, he's been extremely valuable and really good. I mean, really good. So he is. There's really good individual effort. Clark, again, another interception, doing a fabulous job. And others. And Stribling's a very good player. Channing really felt like we needed him. We want him out there. He's an ascending football player, and our hopes are that it was just a 1 week type of injury, and our doctors and training staff and coaches can manage that, and he can manage that to get back on the field soon.
What was your right, Coach Nick?
With Mario, it's the 5th game, so just want to be clear, does that mean he's done, career-wise, he's got any eligibility left? Is it too late in the season to sell anything? For another year?
For
Mario.
Yeah, to my understanding.
Yeah.
What's your left, Mike?
Jim, how would you evaluate Ryan Glasgow's play up front on the defensive line this season?
Really good, solid, better than solid. It's been outstanding. High motor all the time, and see it in practice every day. There's never, I never seen him take a play off or loaf, and it shows up in the games. That's the way he practices, the way he plays, and really asserted himself from the first day we got here in the spring. I know he was a good player before that, but I've just seen day after day after day of being a really good football player. Mo Hurst, Willie Henry, they're doing the same thing. Matt Godin, really good too. and Willie Henry, Mo Hurst probably had the best of the game from the defensive line standpoint. We talk about tackles for loss or sack and disrupting plays. But, Ryan's been outstanding all year.